So good evening and welcome to the Donny Chainagang with me and Matt Payne. We're live here from the Full Speed Events studio. You have to apologise now for the rocking and the shaking. We've had a really busy time and just got things going on behind the scenes, doing some setting up just to make sure that we're all ready to roll. Don't forget, of course, this is the very last Donny Chainagang prior to Christmas. And then we have 3 Chainagangs next week where we are going to have on Tuesday, yours truly leading the Chainagang in France. On Wednesday, we've got our WoW DCG, and the WoW DCG is going to be heading around LaGuardia for a big Apple Christmas special, and then we end our year on a high with the Up the Zwift special, the end of the year Purgatory toll up the hairpin climbs. That will be on the DCG next Thursday. So make sure you get signed on for those rides. If you're not a member of the DCG, if you are a member of the DCG gang, the Supporters Club, then there were lots of giveaways to come as well. On the Tuesday ride, we'll be giving away an exclusive women's and men's package on the ride. On the Wednesday, on the WoW DCG, the riders on the WoW DCG will be eligible to take part in a competition to win a pair of custom Oakleys. And then the members of the DCG gang will be in the running for a pair of custom Oakleys on Thursday on the Road to the Sky. All part of the 1080 12 DCGs of Christmas. I'm going to say a massive thank you to Ian Taylor and the team at 1080 who've helped stitch all this together. So a big thank you to them. Without them, then just not going to happen. So thank you very much to the team over at 1080. Now, we have got a giveaway tonight because this is still part of our 1080. We've got over £2,000 worth of kit heading out to people who support the Chainagang over the course of the 12 DCGs of Christmas. And today's no exception. On Tuesday, Richard Summerall won the Castelli Alpha jacket. £250 worth of very nice jacket. I've definitely got jacket envy on that one. I'm going to have bib tights envy, particularly as it's heading into the colder weather, because today it's going to be a pair of Castelli Sorpasso ROS tights. These are absolutely gorgeous bits of kit. You won't want to get it out there and get it dirty, but they are there to be used, and we are going to give those away to one of the members of the DCG gang. Now, to do that, as per normal, we have our random giveaway generator, number generator. As you can see, it's rolling over there. And the number generator at the moment rolling right through 1 to 109. And those are the 109 eligible people of the DCG gang supporters who haven't won already, because it is one rider, one prize for the 12 DCGs of Christmas, so that we can spread the thank yous for supporting the Donny Chainagang all the way through the season. So our riders in a great big spreadsheet, and I'm just going to move the mouse somewhere so that I can actually make sure I can scroll up and down through those 109 and work out who's got it, whose number is right next to where it is. So when we hit the stop button, the random generator directly below the 1080 and Castelli Sportful logos, because that's what we're in the running for, is going to stop, and that number will hopefully translate to somewhere between 1 and 109. So I'm going to close my eyes and hit the button. There we go. Number 89. So number 89 is Neil Kerry. Neil, you are our winner of the Sorpasso tights, a monthly member. So we're going to do a little bit of cut and paste. This is the wonders of watching live, as we take his name and copy it from the spreadsheet and drop it into our winners. So Neil joins Richard, Stefano, Julie, Simon, Sammy, Neil, Chris, Trevor, Andrew, Caroline, Tiff, and Malcolm. Yes, I was reading that from the screen over there, in winning today. So fantastic stuff. Neil Kerry, an email will be heading out to you and Richard tomorrow, and it will basically explain how to claim your prizes. Don't forget, if you have one and you haven't already got an email, have a check through the email box, because it will be in there somewhere. And a massive thank you to Ian Taylor. I know Ian is absolutely packed out with loads of Christmas orders, as you'd expect. What better way to celebrate Christmas than to give somebody a great pair of Oakleys? Buy one pair for yourself. There's no shortage. You've got to say, I was out today on the mountain bike, and it was an absolute slot fest. I wouldn't have survived, and certainly my eyeballs wouldn't have survived without the radar EVs that I managed to get from 1080. After their advice, told me exactly what shape of face, how high it needs to be to get the eye line right, the type of lens. Their knowledge is superb. An Icon dealer as well, so really critical people to be in touch with. If you need to get some eyewear, make sure you get in touch with Ian Taylor and the gang at 1080. They are absolutely superb, and I've got to say a massive thank you to Ian for putting together the exclusive giveaway, the 1080 12 days of the DCG. We're going to move on because we are going to head across to the riders who are lining up for tonight's ride, because tonight's ride, it is a Christmas special. Now, we've done this, I think this is now our third Christmas crit in a row. This is the weekend before Christmas, so Christmas crit, next Christmas crit on the run through. It just seems incredible that we got this far, to be honest. And we have almost a tradition now, so it's going to be a 60-minute ride round. The man who has his hand on the tiller, his foot on the throttle, and hopefully his ear to a phone line somewhere around the South Yorkshire area is going to be the one and only Russ Downing. Let's hope he's on the end of the line, because we haven't had time for a sound check so far. So let's see if we can get hold of the one and only Russ Downing. Russ, how you doing?
I'm good, mate.
Yeah, it's been a busy bit of period, hasn't it? But looks like we are going to be heading into Neokyo for 60 minutes of fun.
Yeah, should be fun, mate. I'm probably a little bit quiet here. It's just switched over to hands-free on this, but hopefully you can hear me. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, you're probably a little on the low side for those people, unless they've turned the hearing aids right up, but we'll see. You'll soon know about it, because everybody gets on the message board and lets us know. We've got 60 minutes of riding, so it's going to be pretty chaotic. I guess the plan is basically the usual: stay with yellow.
Yeah, definitely stay with yellow, and yeah. So obviously the chat board's saying they can't hear me, but apologies for that. Maybe the next call will be better.
Yeah, never know. We are going to dive into the route, because we've only got 2 minutes to go. So cheers, Russ. Thank you very much. We'll catch you soon. So we're going to dive across on to the map, because this gives you the all-important information. So we have our route map, courtesy of Swift Hacks and the team at Swift Insider. Got to say a massive thank you to them for all of their support through the year to Swift. They've been absolutely critical in the development of the Donny Chainagang. Now, as you can see, we are in the heart of Neokyo, the Neo Tokyo town, based and inspired by Tokyo, but of course the new version, and that is all part of the Swift Mercury Islands expansion that has happened, and we're going to have a 60 minutes. Now, it can be really interesting to see how this runs. We don't know. The leading is 0.7k. We've no idea how many laps we're going to do at 3.9k a lap. The virtual battle lap banner should come up at the end of the hour. We'll see if we finish there, whether it's a random 1 hour end. But you know what? It's Christmas. We don't care anymore. It is going to be entertaining, to put it mildly, and the same thing happens. Think of it as an unknown distance once the go is given by Russ. Our yellow beacon, our red beacon, one of our key riders, Trevor Crehan, doing the red beacon job today, and good to see he's lined up on that start line as well. In terms of the profile, now this is where things get very interesting indeed, because as you can see, it is not a traditional square crit, so don't think a town centre crit that you necessarily know. It's not just pure straight round a block. We have a very fast start. We start at the bottom of the screen. It comes up around the right-hand side of the screen. A few dips climb at about K in, a climb at 1.5K in, but then the biggest climb, the run up to the top of the twisty section. We then drop back down and through town, and that is going to take its toll on the riders. So it's going to be really important that our riders keep an eye on where that yellow beacon is, an eye on where the riders are around them, and try and make sure that they stay really, really close to the yellow beacon, because that is going to be really, really entertaining indeed. Our riders at the moment are just starting to head out onto the circuit, and we're going to dive in with them in a moment and just follow them on to the circuit. So the riders up and away here on the Donny Chainagang tonight. It is the last one before Christmas. We're going to be heading around that Neokyo crypt very, very shortly indeed. Yellow beacon, Russ Downing, and it is going to be red beacon, Trevor Crehan. The riders already well underway and heading in towards that crypt, inspired by Tokyo, but really is a fantasy world in there. I hope you really enjoy the graphics. This is one of the best expansions we've had into the Zwift world for a while. So enjoy this first time the Donny Chainagang goes there with me, Matt Payne, live on the Downey Cycling YouTube channel. So our helicopter up and above our riders, big bunch of riders today out on the circuit. So as you can see, the riders already are making their way out and across the cobbles. Remember, quick reminder, there are well in excess of 120 riders on the ride today. It is critical that the riders pay attention to their rear view mirror. That is number 6. If they use the number 6, they'll be able to look behind them as we're doing now, and that will indicate to them just how many riders are in which gaps. Remember, the number key on a keyboard or using it on your companion app will get you those variety of views. So number 1 is currently the close-up. We're actually following Richard Samuel, who's one of our winners on the Donny Chainagang in the orange. Number 2 takes you a little bit further out. Number 3 gives you Richard's Oakley's eye view as we come in through on the crit course. Number 4 gets us a side-on view, absolutely congested. Number 5 is down underground. 6 is the rear view mirrors, key for all of our riders to remember today. Number 7, well, 7 is our panning shot, the traditional camera shot as you see our riders come in, dive past, and head out along the circuit. Number 8, one of our favourites, it's the camera shot from up on high. Really good to use when we're out in the middle of the countryside. At the moment, though, less useful because we are jammed right in the centre of town, and that means very difficult to see our riders. However, we can jump up over the top of them and get a quick check as they come in and through. So the riders at the moment just steadily tracking the way along. We are just going to keep a check on our riders. We're going to jump in with our red beacon first of all. And this is going to be Trevor Crehan, and as you can see, a number of riders out and about. So it is going to be very entertaining to see just how the riders tick along here. So at the moment, Sonia Inslee just with Ruth Taylor, or is that Rob? Let's have a little bit of a check. Which of our Taylors it is? It's Rob Taylor and Sonia Inslee just being distanced off the back of that pack as they make their way up the straight. Now, this is where our red beacons really have a difficult job, because if they're in the pack, they cannot see the riders who are out of the back. They'll only get the 100 nearest riders to them. So at the moment, Rob and Sonia having to push really hard to get back into that group. And looks like at the moment Woodall just dropping a back touch off the back of that bunch. So at the moment we've got Rob and Sonia having to push really hard to get back on. And this is the problem once we hit these big numbers as we come into the winter, that if you are not absolutely nailing it from the start, then that gap will open. And away you go, and then you end up in serious trouble. You can just see Trevor just dropping back to try and pick everybody up as they come in and through. Just watching Taylor at the moment. Inslee just behind here, so that red beacon just dropping back. He's going to be picking up those riders behind. And remember, this is what it's all about. It's about getting the group together, getting the gang all together. Now here comes Sonia Kieran. Looks like the gent that is Craig Herring in there. Got to say a massive thank you to Craig. It was a really lovely surprise today. Had a knock on the door. Hey, it was the one and only Mr. Herring doing an amazing job. And mate, they are going to be our in-flight Christmas refueling, what you bobbed around all the way down to Hampshire in the late hours of tonight, early hours of tomorrow morning. So an absolute gent, a pleasure having you on the Chain Gang, mate, and we know you're absolutely top grafter when it comes to bringing our riders back into the fold as well. As you can see already, the groups are well spread out as we weave our way in through the square here, heading in towards the bridge back over the river, and the gap definitely already starting to open out. So just going in underneath the castle sprint, something that we're not going to be focused on too closely as we work our way in and through. And you can see just onto the cobbles at the moment. If we drop down low with the riders, you can just see just how busy it is out there. So that front group packed pretty well together. If we drop back to our yellow beacon, though, you can see got his work cut out, just coming out from those cobbles here, going across the square and in underneath the entranceway. Just seeing Mr. Woodbridge just dropping off the pace a little bit there after coming in. Hopefully he's going to join a little bit further in to the gang. So at the moment, Trevor doing an amazing job. Trevor Cross, a winner on the Donny Chain Gang. Just watching the riders behind Andy Ross really having to push to squeeze to get back into that group. Good to have Andy on the Chain Gang, real pleasure. Again, another rider who we know will work at the back to help riders, and then will also make his way up to the front of the group and be in at the mix. So great to have Andy Ross in with us. And you can see from Andy back to Trevor now currently sitting at 15 seconds. In fact, I think from the back of the group to the group. And good to see Trevor just really starting to push on here at the moment. So Sonia in with the group, Miss Cookie back in as well. Good to see we've got Miss Cookie, Nick Dorsey in here, Gail Phillips, Greg Pillsworth. It is absolutely packed at the moment, the Chain Gang. So Russ at the back of the group, and going to watch as Russ goes in underneath. Interesting to see the gang opening up. Now Trevor going to be on his way through, just chasing SR68 in the back of the gang, but doing an amazing job here. Really tough workout. If you volunteer for a red beacon, this is the position we need you to be, right at the back. It basically means that we know where the back is, Russ knows where the back is, I know where the back is, and we can control the pace of the group. There's a lot of communication, goes backwards and forwards, so really, really cool. So just make sure, guys, if you are a red beacon, this is what you need to do, because if you go up into the main group, you're not going to see it just up there. So let's have a little look. Russ just took it on there. Tom Lindley at the moment, just dropping back a little bit. Young Tom Lindley looking very stylish in his orange and blue. And definitely good to see Tom riding strongly. Looks like Trevor Crehan just coming up alongside Tom. Tom pushing on here. Looks like Russ working his way through the group. Craig Herring, Trevor Crehan, Tom Lindley. Looks like Rob Wimble. Good to see we've got Alan Parsons on the gang once again. Mr. Ridley himself. Alan making a rare appearance. Craig Herring at the moment just distanced a little bit off the back. You can see the gap has opened up in front of Russ at the moment, and all of the riders around Russ, it's our usual suspects. We've got people like Kieran Smith in here. Kieran, our most prolific winner at the moment of the Chain Gang. We do get people come in and break his winning a run, but at the moment it is definitely Kieran who has that dubious honour of being the rider who's done the had the most wins on the Chainagang once that signal is given. So the crit's well underway. Our riders are rolling around at the moment, and the pace of the pack definitely very, very quick up at the front. Nobody, though, going very hard at all. I'm just keeping a little look at the numbers, not seeing much beyond twos, 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, generally around the front, which is exactly what we want to see. So I'll start picking a few of our riders out in a moment. So Kieran Smith just sitting and rolling in the yellow and the red, just keeping a check on the riders at the back here together. And you just see we've got Joff from the Scott Sports squad back in. I've got to say a massive thank you to Joff Watson and all of the team at the Scott Sports. Joff, one of those people who's donated prizes into us. As you can see, Mr. Hines on here, Ian Bale in here, Tim Leary is in as well. Good to have you with us back again, Tim. Tim, another rider, improving all of the time. Regulars in and around this group. We've got Mr. License in here as well. You'll see Rob Wimble tucked in here. Rob is going to be in what I suspect is going to be some kind of version of orange. In fact, there we are. It's got the Yanzi kit on, which is the orange and black kit there. So Rob just coming around from the Drogon race team, just helping that group as they make their way in on to this cobbled section once again. So into the park, Castle Park Sprint. So the gang in and around us doing a great job that we're going to see. Hopefully more and more people getting personal best of the way through. Just watching Tom and Kieran just yo-yoing about at the back of the group. We try and work our way through here. So looks like Stevie G is going to be the rider just at the back now. Stevie definitely more than capable of pushing his way up and in and through. There we go. No sooner said than done. Just watching Sadler at the moment, just on the back of this group at the moment. So it looks like Chris Sadler at the moment just having to squeeze on. It looks like Danger Allen just in front. Sammy Stewart and Trevor Crehan together now. I know Sammy's feeling a little bit rough at the moment. Big hugs from everyone. Sammy gets well soon. And big hugs from everyone on the Chainagang. Virtual ones, of course, these days. Nobody's allowed to do such things in real life. So we all look after each other. And say to anybody who's recovering from the dreaded plague at the moment, recover well, take your time coming back, don't do anything silly. If you're just poorly and rough because you've been overindulging because it's Christmas, well, it is Christmas. And, you know, these things are allowed occasionally. So it looks like James Woodbridge just having issues. He's crashed his internet several times over. Better driving required by the look of it. So just watching on to the riders around the back. You could see Jonathan Gale in here from the Viking Velo. Trevor just making sure he's holding in and around here. Darren Topless in this gang, and again just working his way around. And just keeping a check on these riders coming through. Nice pace being set at the moment, about 39 kph. Currently in just coming up to the 15-minute marker, 45 minutes to go. Interesting to see we've got Dale Williams. Let's have a little bit of a check. Dale currently in the purple kit on the Tron bike. Definitely going to just keep a check on Dale, one of our big sprinters who is known to be exceptionally fast when push comes to shove. Let's see how he gets on. You can see you've got Big Tez in here and Carl Briggs. No chance of messing this finish up, says Dale. No, really. Let's see. I don't know when the finish is going to happen. The expectation is that at bang on 1 hour. Everybody's going to finish the ride. You're all going to disappear from the screens, and we will see if that is going to be the case. Good to have Ryan Crawley in here. Ryan, one of our regulars on Chainagang, and again, one of our super fast riders. Ryan in here from the Out of the Saddle squad. One of our riders wearing the Donny cycling riders kit, just sitting in front of Russ at the moment, and looking pretty smooth, keeping those revs 79 revs per minute. So let's have another little check in and through. Looks like Rob in here, Kieran in here, Matt Nunn's back in as well. You can see Matt in here. Beefy from Cycleways, Merry Christmas, Beefy. Colin, one of our regular riders, and that's not just a Christmas beard, that is for real. If you don't know Beefy and Colin, then in real life he does look kind of a lot like this, it has to be said. So Nick Dorsey in here, best dressed man in cycling, ever.com. And a very nice combination there once again. 10 out of 10 marks. Keen the blue in the Giant with the blue in that Zwift kit once again. Now Mr. Edwards, Ted away on holiday at the moment, and another rider who was looking at 2 for fashion tips, or maybe not. Now Tom Elliott got his Sing kit on a regular up on the front. Eddie Dench in the Bison Beers kit. Pete Drabble in here. Let's have a little look. Julie Leonardo in here now. Julie, Leodis, Leonardo. Take your pick. Julie goes fast as bleep, bleep, bleep. Getting quicker all the time. Getting faster all the time. Interestingly, going for a bike with aero wheels on this time for the crit today. And Julie, another one of our winners on the DCG gang and the Donny Chainagang Supporters Club. Good to see that we've got Amy Morn in here. Amy, one of our regular younger riders as well. So Amy in and riding one of our younger riders, currently just ticking along 140 beats per minute, 68 revs a minute. And Amy looking pretty smooth on the way through here. Let's take a little bit of a look. We've got Mr. Bulmer back in the gang once again. Good to see he's tucked in with this group, and pretty much all the group looking like they are all together at the moment. So Trevor Crehan nicely sitting in at the back. We've got Pete Drabble in here as well. So Nick McDermott just took it in at the back at the moment. Got to push on here, Nick. Time to squeeze on back through. So it looks like Nick dropping out, getting a drop out on the way through. Looks like Big Tez at the moment, just under pressure. Drabble then behind these riders, now coming up into this climb here. Just watching Drabble as we take a little bit of a check across. It's only 2% grading. It drops down a little bit as you come through the Castle Park. And then we are going to be back on and up. And if this path looks slightly familiar, that is because it is meant to replicate a snake on the way through. So the riders in and through the square. We're going to drop down underneath the archway that brings us into the gardens here. Some great rendering by the team at Zwift, and a lot of work into making the whole of the world here on Zwift appear for our riders. I've got to say a massive thank you to everybody as lucky enough to be out and running, putting a few hours on the bike on Zwift yesterday, and managed to grab a quick ride with Eric Min, head honcho, and really to get with so many things. You know, when it comes to Zwift, I've got to say one of the nicest guys as well when you bump into him. Speaking of nice guys, looks like Andy Hawes on the Chainagang at the moment, and need to just take a little bit of a check of Andy's kit. Andy now in the blue Pinarello Squadra kit. Interesting combination with the black and white bike as he comes in through, and Andy, one of the nice guys on the Donny Chainagang. Great to see Andy in once again. So steadily going to work our way back through this bunch. Famous last words. Now Neil Birmingham, a man who joined us mid-summer, absolutely flying now. Good to have him in the gang. Gibbo's in here as well. Deja Allen and Callaway on the way through. So just dropping in with the gang. Looks like Jeff Saysel at the moment. Just distanced a little bit. Come on, Jeff. Time to squeeze on, buddy. Jeff, the man who likes to try and predict just when that trigger is going to happen. Definitely not. Don't know if he's ever actually managed to get it right. He's got close, but no cigar so far. Let's see if he gets it right tonight. As we make our way in, so looks like Drabble pushing on Herring and Saysel. Nick Dorsey just in front as well. So Dorsey's just got Crehan with him for company at the moment. So Nick just squeezing on as we come up on to this section. Saysel just squeezes his way back into the bunch. Sadler nicely tucked on to the back here. Sammy Stewart just getting the power up there, using that feather as she comes up this straight. The Aeonian rider tucked in there. So it looks like a little bit of an issue here for Richardson. Just taking a little look. Looks like we've just got Dr. D joining us. Rowan just jumping into the gang. Go on, Rowan, give it a quick push on here. This is a good section to get back on again. If you can work hard here, you'll be on to the back. Trevor is just in front. Rowan just trying to squeeze on here. Now, Dr. D, one of our regulars on the Chainagang, somebody who's just on the comeback from illness and injury, and working hard to get himself back into the group. Nicely done. So it looks like a run just working his way up onto the back wheel of Trevor. We're going to just take a little look. Nick McDevitt is still nicely scotched in the bunch despite showing off the back. This is where it gets all very interesting indeed. Mr. Wilson in here, looking really, really good. Carl Briggs, Greg Pillsworth, Gary Elias, Mr. Drabble, Richard Langley, another of our great volunteer Red Beacons. Got to say a massive thank you to our Red Beacons. They do an amazing job, and without them the Chainagang wouldn't be the same. So please guys, can you make sure if you do bump into them out on a ride on Zwift over the next few days or in real life, make sure you say thank you very much to them. Without our Red Beacons, it just wouldn't be something. They all volunteer for it. So please guys, make sure you say hi, say thanks, buy them a coffee or similar, and we got to say a massive thank you to them. And don't forget, of course, we are indebted to all of the people who helped make the Chainagang happen. We've got Gail Phillips on the ride tonight. Gail, of course, stitches together our Red Beacon rotor. We've got lots of our sponsors in here. Just got to job on his way through. I know the guys from Gritty at the moment on the way out to Belgium for the cross curse period, the Christmas period. And don't forget, we've got a brand new Crosscast out. You can download that on Spotify, on iTunes and similar. Quite a heated discussion between myself, Neil and Bruce about everything from course design right the way through to risk, etc. A quick reminder, guys, make sure, please, that you do download and subscribe that if you're interested in cross, and if you want to support that, don't forget, of course, Gritty have some t-shirts, which are the Crosscast t-shirts, and all the profits from that going to help pay for all of the hosting for the Crosscast. Chainagang, of course, is supported by the DCG gang. We've got to say a massive thank you to everybody who's a member of the DCG gang. The DCG gang getting a heads up already on the emails of what's happening next year, of all of the links. They already have all the links to all of the events right the way through next week as well. Now we're getting some route planning on all the rest of the courses as well, so make sure that you get yourselves in to the gang if you can afford to. It is a great way of supporting the Chainagang, and it's a great way that we can say thank you so much to all of our riders who support the gang. We give you discount codes. We make sure that you get all the latest information in front of anybody else on the gang. You get the heads up before anyone or anything else. Now, just running our way through the group up here, and looks like Russ just having a roll round to the front here. So very busy up around the front of the pack at the moment. So there's another rider we need to say a big thank you for. A big thank you to for a number of reasons. First of all, when the Chainagang started and our crazy idea was planned, giving us loads of support, lots of ideas, bounced back. Somebody who was then shifted out, ejected from their normal pain cave, was booted out of the way and out into the garage and spending their entire turbo training sessions out in the cold. Somebody who has taken on the leadership of the WOW DCG, as well as being a member of the British Cycling Off-Road Commission, as well as being a rider who's racing for the AO Racing, as well as racing for the cross season, and working with lots of riders as well. It is Emma Payne, our WOW DCG yellow beacon, tucked in here with the disc and the orange cap. Got to say a massive, massive thank you to Emma. Without Emma, we wouldn't be running the broadcast. It is that simple, because we nicked the pain cave to turn into a studio. So a big thank you to Emma for that. And no, I'm not after more mince pies. Emma doing an amazing job of inspiring a lot of women. In fact, the WOW DCGs, in fact, putting a lot of the riders into, a lot of the female riders who are on the Chainagang tonight have come directly from the Women's Only Wednesdays on the Donny Chainagang. So a massive thank you to Emma for that. And I've got to say, without her support, we wouldn't have a Chainagang. And as Alan says, also a rider who's been checking out and making sure that Alan gets pitted as well. So a big thank you to Em. Because the support of her does mean that we get a studio to play with, and Emma gets to sit right in the freezing cold outside. Not that that makes me happy much, honest. Right, back to our riders in the rest of the gang, just keeping an eye on the way through. Mr. Osman pushing on there, looks like Mr. Young in here, Mr. Barrett. And just hearing a call from Russ to lift that pace a little bit here, as all of the gang is just about holding in now. One rider who is great to see on the gang, a regular on the Women's Only Wednesdays DCG, Charlotte Colclough. Fast, scary fast rider, and regular on the Chainagang. Definitely a rider to watch out as we work our way in to the finish. Remember, that call has come at the front for 3 watts per kilo. That is likely to mean that if you are not able to push that, you are going to get ejected. In the moment, looks like Nick Dorsey having to push on really hard here. So Nick and Trevor working together here. Going to try and push themselves into the back of the pack. Looks like Geoff from Scott Sports just dropping back. He's just going to see them come in and through. Come on, Geoff. Give it a bit of a boot, mate. So Geoff kicking up here, going to help drag the gang back together again in the back. Looks like Craig Herring's doing the same, just watching the red beacon behind. These are all riders that we know are capable of doing 3 watts per kilo at the moment. At the back of this gang, just having to work hard now. Some of our youngsters are going to be really working hard here. Amy Morn, her numbers I would expect to be much more than the 3 watts per kilo to stay with the gang. She's one of our lighter riders. If you are a big rider like me, you can power along, and 200 watts is sitting a long way below 2.5 watts per kilo in as you make your way down through. Of course, dead easy, to be honest, at that pace. If you are a big rider, if you want to put 200 watts out and you weigh less than 30 kilos, that's well over 6 watts per kilo to go for, and that is when things get very difficult indeed for our youngsters. So these youngsters know that once the pace gets hot, things get very tricky indeed, and as you can see at the moment, it's working well here with the little gang at the back here. This is the group who are just having to push on here. Looks like Dorsey at the moment at the back of this group. Just weaving their way through the square at the moment. So just over 30 minutes in, the pace picking up. You can see those personal best times for the riders coming in and through. Now this group just looks like they're about to pick up Jeff Saysel. Jeff dropping back and helping this group coming back on to the back of the pack. So Saysel, Geoff Watson along with Trevor Crehan and the gang just pushing the way back into the group here. They're going to get onto the tail feathers of the big group in front. So Trevor tucked back in again. The gang are working so well tonight. Great to see everybody riding so strong. And Trevor Crehan, winner of a Donna's package, did an amazing job. So the group nicely together at the moment. Looks like they're working well. That pace should be picking up. Just riding in with Charlotte Coleclough. Oh, don't want to go back to the loneliest avatar ever. So it looks like a lost connection for Stefano, causing issues on the way through. So these tech issues now, I mean, problems for Stefano. It looks like Jim Flynn at the moment sat on Trevor Creehan's wheel. And it's going to be Jim and Trevor trying to work the way back up. It looks like Nick Dorsey and Steve Cannons in the gap, as is Cookie. You can see the pace is picking up here. If we take a little bit of a look back, you can see those riders behind just trying to push on here and squeeze in. Don't forget, if you do get distance, find a group or work together. It's the standard way to ride the Chainagang. So it looks like Nick Dorsey just going to head back to help Trevor Creehan and Jim Flynn. Steve Cannon, Steve struggling tonight. Steve, give into it, mate. Don't push beyond the limit if you don't need to. If you're having a bad night, then enjoy the red bus and go and see. Looks like Nick Dorsey, Miss Cookie, Trevor Creehan and Jim Flynn could well be the Christmas party bus that has started. The wine and cheese are already on one side. Because this definitely is going to be a party bus, not just a business meeting. So the squad on the way up, and looks like the bus starting to form. We're going to take a little bit of a run up as they come through. So here comes the gang. It looks like the bus all together now. Has come in underneath the signs, and Jim just a little bit distanced here. So come on, Jim, time to push on, mate. Big squeeze on you. Get into this group. It's a nice pack of four. It will work well together. So this is Jim now. You can see just giving it a little bit of a kick, just trying to get into that red beacon group. We're going to let them get themselves together there as we take a little bit of a run up the road. to the back of the main pack at the moment, and you can just see around that back of the group. McKenna at the moment yo-yoing around there. Woodbridge, he's been having problems just drifting backwards as we just see Sammy Stewart squeezing on up a little bit here. Got Hunsley and Morning there that just working away through this group. It is a pretty busy pack as they come in and through. Remember, the pack working hard now. We've not had any kind of signal that it is time to kick onwards, but at the moment, just seeing some very entertaining numbers up on the front.
Dear Santa, what I'd like for Christmas is people who can work out that 1 is the first number, 2 is the second number, 3 is the third number, and 4 is bigger than 3. And when Ross says 3, it means 3. Is that okay, Santa Claus, please? That'd be very nice, thank you.
Looks like the bus opening the bar, which is what we want to see.
Oh, Sammy. Oh, do a zippy if you want me to. Oh, zippy, zippy, zippy.
Ho, 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 go, go, go. It is the go, go, go has gone. Good job on Sutton and Ryder, who we know has got a big kick on him. Mr. Varty on the way through. This is where things get interesting. Let's keep a check on him as he makes his way up through to the front of the group here. Now Varty's gone on to the front of the pack. This is where things are going to get spicy and strung out. That big blob has gone to a one long line at the moment. Just regrouping a little bit on the front. This is when things get entertaining. Good to have Andy Ross on here. Thanks very much, Andy. Let's see how this progresses now. With Atkinson on the front winding up then. Kieran Smith, Rob Varty in here as well. This is really, really quick now on the front here. Deja Allen pushes on. Atkinson's just gone. He's gone hard again. I've just seen 8 watts per kilo of Atkinson. I'm not surprised he's got the fastest time through there, 26.39. Lindley Genther in there. Templeman's in there. Saysel Taylor, Wimble coming through. It really is a who's who of regulars on the Donny Chainagang. Charlotte Colclough going through. I think Charlotte getting a very quick time on the way through that group as well. So Charlotte's on a quick kick in through the line. We said she was fast. She certainly is now. Genther, another of our regulars up on the front of the Chainagang. Kieran Smith, Kieran Brown, Craig Herring, Rob Taylor in there. So let's keep a check on how these riders doing. Looks like Emma, our women's AO rider, and WOW DCG leader rider, who was doing sprint session yesterday with the AO gang, is now taking it easy. I'm not surprised when she's got any legs left at all. Good to see Mr. Simon in here as well. Paul working well in this leading pack. Crawley's in there, Peacock's in there. And just to see the pressure is definitely on. Come on, Craig. Push on, mate. Time to be a But a big white shark here, time to get onto the back, get those numbers kicked out. You just see Darryl Tatchell, Waller at the moment, just leading now. Craig's leading that chasing group. So Craig is not feeling it. He does saying he's just feeling that jump. I wish I could kick out 6.6 watts per kilo after I'd had a jab, that's for sure. As this group just about to make contact. Ambrose is here. Looks like Claire Richardson in this group. Now they need to work here to get on to the pack. If they can work well now, they'll squeeze in to the back of that group in front. It's only a few seconds from front to back, and that gap has not opened up properly. This is all about pushing together as a group to get back into that pack, back together again. Get that group together. It's just about there. They're hovering just in front, and you can just see everybody knows they want to be there. Has anybody got the power? You just need one rider to kick across, one rider to put the pace on, enough to get through there. Donahue, Callaway, Tracy Seeley is in this pack as well. Now we know Tracy's got a big kick. Has she got enough of a kick to get across the gap here? So the second group on the road, they are hovering around that pack. They can almost see the group in front. They can't quite reach out and touch them. And it is so tantalisingly close as they come in and through. This is going to be incredibly tight. Our leaders just in front. You see go around that left-hand bend. But the gap is now starting to reopen once again as we now come in to these kickers. So 46.5 minutes on the clock. The time is counting down for these riders. They'll want to be right on the heels of our leaders, but that gap, it keeps on opening as they come out. So looks like Matlock on the back of the group here. So Locke sitting on the back of this pack. He made contact. He's managed to stay in with them as they continue onwards here. It is very fast indeed now. And I think we are not far off seeing our red beacon in front. Kieran Smith has gone on the attack on the front. We're going to jump in with him. He's got a gap opened up on the rest of the group here. So Kieran Smith has gone early here. It's a long way to go, but the damage is being done. He's not letting the group behind back on again. The chase is on behind as they whip the way around those turns, and it looks like it's going to be Ryan Crawley without the saddle and Charlotte Colclough who are doing the work behind to close that gap down. Now Drabble comes in and Birmingham quickly into the mix. Drabble comes in and through, and Alan goes over the top there. Simon Knight in this mix, but it's Luke who's on the front here. He's got the front in that blue GB kit, just coming round, taking that right-hand turn. So this, the leading group at the moment, and you can just see Kieran on the front. Now comes Crawley back up onto the front of the pack. They are all over this. There's no one getting much of a chance on the front as this continues to push onwards at a ferocious pace tonight. So you can just see behind the group just reforming, just coming back together again here, mourning the pack. Matlock on the back of this group. Rich Orrell is not all that far behind. Taylor with him. It looks like they're just about holding this. Cass is in there. Orrell's in there. They need to squeeze on up over the top of this slight riser at the moment. Before it drops on down, this is where the gap opens as it goes over the top, and then you drop down. Looks like Kieran Brown on the attack at the front. So Kieran Brown now not so much on the attack, just keeping that pace high, but this group need to work now. The gap has opened up behind Matlock. You can see the chase is on, but this is super quick. So it's Bulmer now on the front of the group with the gap. You can just see it opening that little bit of a gap up. OZK is going to be the rider who's going to bring it back from the Donny Chainagang and from the Sipwell Club. Just squeezing on, just brought that gap down. You can just see behind, looks like Kira doing a lot of work in here. Russ continuing to pick up that pace. Super quick up on the front, coming in around these turns, just in with Tom Lindley, who's right in this mixer once again. Tom back to his best after just struggling a little earlier on, but at the moment this group working well now, coming into the castle grounds here. So the Castle Park sprint, the run in and through here, super fast on the group. Lindley, one of our young riders who really has improved time and time again. Good to see Daratashul Waller once again in this group. The climb is starting to open up on the very front. We just dropping back to the Mike Killingsworth group. Here's got Ridley, got Phillips and co in here. Looks like Emma in this gang as well. They're chasing on behind. Looks like Dowtree, Beefy in here. Tim Baggs, Ruth Taylor in here. Paul Mallon in. Sonia Inslee with Julie Leonardo, Amy Morn in the group. The leading gang, though, Matlock just about holding on to the front group here. Come on, mate, time to squeeze. You got to get onto those wheels. It drops off very quickly indeed, and when that happens, you've got to be in touch. If you're not on those wheels, then you're going to be in trouble. And remember that draft, it's only 6 meters. Once you lose that 6 meters, you are going to be a distance now. These groups on the road are well and truly spread out, coming up to nearly 50 minutes of riding here on the Donny Chainagang. So Templeman riding well, looking good as he comes in and through. Nice skip from Templeman. So we're going to finish next lap as we go in and through there. It is going to be very interesting to see how we go on this last lap. It's going to be very entertaining. So Russ calling it. And then they finish on that section as they come in and through. So we get to see who is watching the screens, who was paying attention. Matlock just yo-yoing at the moment. Varty are pushing on hard here. You can just see the gaps opening again. So we're going to go to the green banner. We're going to go to the green banner. That's the Alley Sprint banner by the look of it. The Alley Sprint banner is where we're aiming for. Hopefully we're going to be able to keep track of where that is. So Russ is trying to work out exactly where we're going to get to. So we're going for the Alley Sprint banner. Going to be very entertaining. Let's see if we get there. Less than one lap to go, or less than one lap to go. Just watching Stefano. He is going to see Bulmer coming up behind him rather fast here, because it's Bulmer who's got the lead. So the pace our riders are travelling. Hopefully they're going to make it back to the Alley Sprint. To be honest, it's got to be one of these. I'm really not worried about who takes top spot. It's great to see so many riders riding so strongly in this group. It is a real pack, absolutely motoring the way in and through. Just going to keep a check on them as they come in now. You can just see Matt looking here. They're going to go around Stefano Borelli, but Elliot from Nonnas is going to try and jump in to the back of this group. Good riding there. If he's going to get in here, come on, Stefano. Time to give it a push and jump in with the group. So Stefano just kicking a jump in. This is where things get very spicy indeed. Now on the front goes Kieran Brown. He's got Jeff Saysel for company. Drabble is right up there as well. Birmingham's pushing on at the moment. Lindley's right in there. OCK's in there. Coldclough right in this mix. Mr. Williams thinks I'm going to lose you after 60 minutes. Possibly, mate. We will see. I'm going to do my best. We'll see if I can stay in with the gang now. Russ on the front. And looks like Kieran Brown goes over the top now. So Brown leading out this group as they come through. So it's currently Brown. And then Chopper coming through in the red, white and black. Just pushes up alongside. Let's see how they go at the moment. We're on Castle Park Sprint at the moment. We're going to go through that one nice and quickly. We're going to be on to the alley sprint very shortly. It doesn't take long to get there. The pace these riders are moving at the moment. And at the moment, certainly it looks to me like Kieran Brown is continuing to push here. He's up at 8.5 watts per kilo now. So this is a definite attack now by Kieran Brown on this climb. He's trying to leave Kieran Smith behind. Craig Genther is chasing hard here. It's Genther in pursuit at nearly 8, nearly 9 watts per kilo. We're going to hit the next green button. You can see it in the distance. We've got the loop turn to do, the drop down to the T-junction, a left-hand turn. This is going to be nuts because Brown has gone early. He's got a gap now. You can see Ryan Crawley's gone hard to try and chase him down. Kieran Brown is doing the watts per kilos. Drabble now in that gap in between. So it's Brown going through in the green, Drabble in the blue, Birmingham in the black. You've got Genther and Crawley both in that Downing cycling kit, but the man up on the front, it is going to be Kieran Brown who's gone hard. He's gone early. He's going to drop down to the T-junction and turn left. That green banner is going to come very, very quickly indeed. It's not long now, but the pack are coming. They're going to gobble him up and spit him out for breakfast here because over the top comes Jeff Saysel. Now can Jeff nail it tonight? This is going to take some doing. We're going to see Lindley taking his first victory. Can Charlotte Coldclough wipe out that deficit as they come in and through? This is the run through. They're going to go through the lap banner. Remember, we're going for the green banner. It's round the corner, through the wiggles and out the other side. Birmingham has gone early. Birmingham's going hard. Here now comes Dale Williams. Williams with 17 watts per kilo. Our camera can't even get in front of him. He's going that fast. Here we go. He's coming in towards the line, and it looks to me like it is going to be Dale Williams who's going to get this. Williams gets it. He takes it absolutely flying from Kieran Smith. The two big sprinters ahead of Lindley getting a third place. Great stuff, mate. Drabble in fourth. And everybody comes screaming through. Charlotte Coldclough comes through to set the fastest women's time as she comes in and through the line. All of our riders continue to push on towards the hour. An amazing sprint there. Dale Williams, a great asset to the Chainagang, and making things very spicy indeed up on the front. Got to say, well done to all of our riders as they come in and through. We are just in and watching Charlotte just come in through the line. Remember, when you come in through the line, that is where the finish is. So that was brilliant little finish as they came in and through. We're just going to try and run our way up to see where our next group on the road are. This is much harder than it sounds. I am going to work on this one. Just in front of this group, we've got two riders. I think it's Stevie G coming in and through. Just seeing none and but. I think they are currently on the sprint in for the finish, so on the way through. And they go. Great riding by that group. So we're just going to have to take a little bit of a run back through. We're going to drop in to Russ at the moment on his way in and around here on the Chainagang. Let's see what happens when we take over. Great ride. Great to see everybody out on the course today. As you can see, things definitely getting very entertaining out on the course because as we tick into that hour marker, looks like our riders just continuing. This is the final sprint and the run in here for them. The Chainagang going across at 1 hour done. And as you can see, our riders dropping off the screen here. So We're going to stay in here. We're going to run back to our lonely full speed events avatar, who's going to sit on the side until we drop out and away. So as we finish off the ride, absolutely frantic out there. Absolutely love that. Brilliant sprint finish. Well done to Dale for topping it off, and for Charlotte. 2 amazing riders in amongst a whole group of amazing cyclists. Thank you, guys. From Russ, from myself, Matt Payne, from Emma, from Gail, from Jimmy Allen, all of our Red Beacons as well, from everybody on the Donny Chainagang. Have a great Christmas. Keep yourselves safe. I can't wait to have a chat with Russ, see how he's doing. We are going to try and get him on the line. Let's see if we can get him at any kind of volume. Russ, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate.
Oh, that's more like it. That was pretty frantic on the way through.
Good, mate. Yeah, the hands-free's shut off and picked my phone up, you know.
Well, it's always go to the old school method. Great Chainagang tonight. It's the end of the run prior to Christmas. We've got a couple of days of Christmas. We're back on Tuesday, and you're going to be hopefully sat with a mince pie or 2 watching, enjoying me suffering for a change instead.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You know, you've been chomping at the bit. You know, trying to get off your office chair and all that to ride it. So
I don't have one anymore.
Thanks a lot for that, mate. And I'm sure
it's broken.
It'll be a great.
There is no chair left in the studio whatsoever. We broke it on the Chainagang. That's how hard. It's hard even on the commentary. So to break on the kit, never mind on the bike. But yes, I have been chomping at the bit. To actually just get to ride one. That's for sure. So I'm not sure jumping in and leading was quite my idea, but there we go. Great ride. Great to see everybody there. We've got 3 Chainagangs, got great giveaways in the coming week, because we've got our custom Oakleys as well as great Oakley goodies coming from 1080 next week. And of course, we then run into the new year after finishing off the year on a high up the big climb, of course, of the Alpe de Zwift. So I'll get my own revenge when you're riding up that on Thursday, mate. Don't you worry.
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. But just on 12 days of DCG, 12 DCGs of Christmas. Massive thanks to Ian at 1080, rallying the sponsors, the troops and the backers, and I hope everyone likes their clothing, their gifts and everything that they've got. And you know, I think we might need them. This weather's looking a bit grim over the next few days, but you know, should be nice indoors.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of people on Zwift, and we've got to say a big thank you to Zwift. An amazing platform, great to have the Chainagang on there, and it allows us to keep this community rolling, just to show just how good that community is, because those groups riding into the finish were amazing tonight.
Yeah, you know, everyone knows that, you know, if you're not getting dropped from that front group, you're going very well, and that's all we need to say. So, you know, find your group. Even like the best posts are the ones that say, yeah, I was going to jump off after 20 minutes, but the red bus or the so-and-so group got me through it, and thanks a lot. And that's what we're about on the DCG, and that's, like I said, one of the reasons we set it up. You know, we're all having issues at the start. You know, how much better do you go when you're getting pushed along by, you know, different abilities? So you know, everyone joins in.
Definitely,
and you move on together, and that's what a proper Chainagang's about. And you know, it's been a great year. We've got a couple more to go, but I think it's time for mince pies and beer now for sure.
Well, I'm on a 4-hour drive the moment we finish this, so I'll stick off I might be on the mince pies. In fact, I'm going to be on some goodies that was dropped around by Craig Herring, who lives in the same village stroke town as me. So great to see him today. It was a really nice surprise, and got to say a big thank you to him. We've got to say a big well done to Malcolm, to Tiff, Caroline, Alan, Drew, Trevor, Chris, Neil, Sammy, Simon, Julie, Stefano, Richard, and joined today by Niall Kerry doing the business today. Brilliant to see so many winners on the Chainagang and Deadright, their support, and all the DCG gang critical to making it happen. Time for mince pies, Russ. I'll let you get off, and we'll call it a day. So thank you everybody for watching from Russ and from myself, have a great Christmas. Stay safe. Hopefully we'll get to see you out and about somewhere over the next few days. And don't forget, you can join Russ in watching me, or even better, you can join me on the gang next Tuesday. See you soon.
Merry Christmas, DCG. Have a good one.